My name is Mary Stewart. I am the principal of Wyandotte High School. Wyandotte High School has a rich history of excellence and tradition. Every student who attends Wyandotte is part of a much larger Wyandotte family, a family that extends back over 100 years. As part of that family, we all have the responsibility to carry on the stories and traditions that have shaped Wyandotte High School. One such tradition is why we are here today, the passing of the Robe Ceremony. The passing of the Robe Ceremony dates back to 1894. Very few traditions, if any, in any high school have such a lifespan. The current students and staff at Wyandotte were determined that not even a pandemic as we are currently experiencing would break this tradition. With us today to help celebrate are members of the class of 2020 and the class of 2021 to explain the tradition behind the robe. Beginning the retelling of the history is senior Sanjana Gurung.
134 years have gone by since the first class of 30 boys and girls started going to a school of which Wyandotte is a direct descendant. Wyandotte had its original beginning in the year 1886. Most of us coming to school each day do not find it difficult to obtain a means of transportation for getting here. But to the students of 1886, going to school, then at 7th and Riverview, was quite an ordeal. Imagine the difficulties of getting to school in those days when sidewalks and even paved streets were not constructed. But those students did make it, and the long history of Wyandotte was beginning.
Next, we have senior Alani Franklin.
The day started at 8 a.m. with opening exercises. Classes were an hour long with 4 courses offered. At noon, lunch was eaten out of doors and drinking water was received from a hydrant on the side of the school. Classes were dismissed at 1 o'clock, and everyone went directly home since there were no outside activities or athletic events. In 1887, the first outside activity started. It was a debating society. A school paper, which was handwritten, also began that year. The Kansas City, Kansas High School Pantograph, however, didn't have its start until 1920, some 33 years later.
Continuing is senior Emily Rubio Adame.
In 1890, the school was moved to an entirely new building at night in Minnesota, where it remained until it was destroyed by fire on the night of March 3, 1934, while the basketball team was in Topeka competing in the state basketball championship game. The present building was a WPA project during the Depression and was opened in September of 1937, or 82 years ago. All of the woodwork and stonework was done by artisans. Architecturally, there is not another school in the metropolitan area that can rival it. Wyandotte was declared a National Historic Monument in 1986. But let us go back to the year 1894, for this was the year that Miss Clara Stilwell, an English teacher, began the tradition of the presentation of the mantle, today known as the passing of the robe. The traditional ceremony, which is being given today for the 126th time, was first given at the old First Presbyterian Church at 7th and State. The ceremony took place just before the diplomas were presented at the commencement exercises. The first presentation of the purple robe was made by Anita Gleed to Ines Wolf. It took place at the 9th commencement of the Kansas City, Kansas High School at 7th and Ann.
With additional explanation is senior Ben Ibarra.
What does the passing of the robe actually symbolize? It was originally intended to mean the passing of the senior class responsibilities and leadership to the junior class. As we watch today's proceedings, let us keep in mind the first ceremony of 1894 and the true meaning of the passing of the robe. The Wyandotte seniors are passing the Wyandotte juniors many pleasures, tasks, responsibilities, honors, and traditions. The meaning has stayed with us since the first robe of 126 years ago. The Wyandotte is the only school we know of that has such a historic ceremony.
Now from one of our juniors, Saul Franco Morales.
When our junior representative receives this robe, he is accepting responsibilities and challenges for us. We are being handed many honors to uphold. We will be the ones initiated into the National Honor Society. We will be taking over the leadership and respect of the underclassmen. We will enjoy the senior prom and experience the pomp and ceremony of the baccalaureate and graduation ceremonies. We are now receiving a new challenge for the future. Many new responsibilities will be ours. The reputation of this school will be in our hands. We will be expected to carry on the long sports records and good sportsmanship. Ours will be the duty to keep the extracurricular activities vitalized and interesting. Overall, seniors of 2020, you are passing on to us with this robe, the pride you must feel in what you have accomplished as seniors of Wyandotte High School.
Bringing the message from our seniors is Sanjana Garone.
We, the senior class of 2020, pass this robe to you, the new senior class of 2021, with the hope that you will uphold the tradition of Wyandotte High School and your responsibilities as members of the senior class. May your year as seniors be successful.
And receiving that message is Junior Vivian Miradiaga.
We, the senior class of 2021, accept the robe and all the responsibilities that it represents. We look forward with anticipation to our senior year and all the new challenges that it may hold. You 2020 seniors were all strong and managed to teach us a lot this year, even though it was cut short. We hope next year and the time that follows can be prosperous for us all. Thank you.
And thank you for joining us as we all embrace the responsibility of being a member of the Wyandotte High School community and furthering the message of Wyandotte forever.